Good morning, Papa Bruce here, sitting in my hammock. We're in a sort of a park-like area, and the purpose of this video today is to compare and talk about the three different shelters that I use as a senior backpacker. My first video I did, gosh, probably 2-3 years ago now, was about backpacking for seniors. And in that video, I talked about my 4 principles. Go slow, go light, be economical, and bring some comfort items. Yes, everybody hikes a little differently, and I like to hike in maybe, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 miles, 2 miles, depending on where I'm going, and set up a nice comfortable camp, and then maybe day hike out of it. I'm not going from point to point and moving every single night, generally. When I do, I have a shelter for that. And I'm certainly not a through hiker, not anymore. At my age, next month I'll be 75. Happy birthday me. Anyhow, at my age, it's just taking time and enjoying nature and what it has to offer. So, let's go ahead and talk about the 3 types of shelters we're going to talk about today. The hammock, which I'm sitting in now, my bivy, and my one-man backpacking tent. Well, we'll start with the tent. This tent is made by Alps ALPS Mountain Engineering. And in purchasing this, I stuck to one of my 4 principles: be economical. I bought this tent on, I think, Craigslist, one of those sites, for about 60 bucks. I don't think Alps makes this particular model anymore, but what I like about this tent is that you can enter it from either side, and for a one-man tent, it's fairly roomy and fairly high inside, so it's easy to sit up. I like to do some reading at night, and that makes it pretty handy to do. In this video, you'll see that I don't have the rainfly on. I thought it might be easier to see inside, and it's certainly not going to rain. We're still in the desert. When you do put the rainfly on, it gives you 2 vestibules, I believe it's pronounced, on each side where the doors are. So that does afford some extra storage room. Often I'll just store my pack on one side, and on the other side, in the other vestibule, the one that I use to get in and out of, I'll often use a little backpacking stove to heat up my coffee in the morning, particularly if it's cold out. Here we have my bivy. I really like this little fella. This is my go-to shelter if I am moving from one campsite to another. All of the 3 different shelters that I have here, this was the easiest to put up, but you don't see me using it too much in my desert videos. Why? No trees. It's important to have a tree. But this video, or this hammock, is one from Walmart. I believe it's probably Ozark Trail, I don't know. But it's the mosquito hammock. And you can see it's got the built-in fly, which is a little cumbersome when you're trying to sit in it. The introductory video, you notice that it was hitting my head all the time. But I generally don't spend that much time sitting in it. Though I tell you what, because this is also a comfort item to me, it really substitutes for a chair. When I take the tent, or the bivy, I also bring my chair because I'd like to have a nice camp in the evening, and the chair makes it that much more enjoyable. So when we compare these and compare the rates, for me anyway, not for everybody, but for me, I will generally bring a chair with the bivy and also with the tent. But I will not bring one with a hammock because it's so comfortable just to sit in it as well. Now with the hammock, I will generally bring a tarp, and with the bivy, I'll generally have a tarp. So those have to be considered. Well, I hope that gives you some ideas, and maybe if you're looking for a shelter, 3 ways you might want to go. I will say a couple of things about each one. One, the tent is heavier, though once you get to where you're going and it's set up, it's handy, particularly if you're not moving every night. The hammock is great, but you do need to bring a tarp if there's any chance of rain, and if it's cold, you also need some kind of an underquilt. Now the bivy can sort of be used all by itself. I usually do. When I'm in the desert, I'm not worried about rain. I want to keep the bugs off, and I just want a nice lightweight shelter, and that bivy does the trick. So I like that one, particularly if I'm going from place to place. But if I'm spending the night, more than one night, I prefer to have something a little more comfortable. So with that, remember, keep hiking, and if you like this video, give me a birthday present by subscribing. Thanks. Be careful out there and enjoy the outdoors.